Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to If You Don't Like That, our Open Forum Wednesday. The Kings are off. They will play Philadelphia tomorrow, then Boston on Friday. The Celtics lost at home tonight to the Atlanta Hawks, 117 to 106. So the Kings will be getting Boston after a loss. The Knicks beat Toronto. The Raptors had only 41 points in the second half tonight, and the final score was 119 to 92. The Knicks with a strong second half win up in Toronto to complete the back-to-back. Pacers beat the Bulls 113 to 110. The Cavaliers knock off the Lakers at home 129 to 99. Rockets and Spurs going on. That game is towards the end of the first quarter. The Rockets with an early 10-point lead there. Warriors lead the Jazz with 2 minutes left to go in the first half, 61 to 48. Timberwolves early third lead the Mavs 66 to 54. The Hornets over the Grizzlies 102 to 85. 5 minutes left to go in that game. And seconds remaining, the Magic will beat the Heat. They lead 131 to 122. And again, that game is down to the final seconds there. What do you want to talk about tonight? Let me know. Fire away. All right. Happy to have you here. Won't go that long. Just wanted to talk a little bit about what is on the schedule. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Fox Sports Sacramento. Then the Kings and the Sixers will be on right after the show with the post-game show, YouTube and X right here. Looking forward to it. Granted, the Lakers try to trade for Giannis. Would it take Reeves and 2 or 3 first-round picks, protected or unprotected? I don't think the Lakers are in the mix. I said this on my radio show today. I think the Warriors probably have the best package that they can give to Milwaukee. I don't see it being the Lakers. I just don't. I don't see it being the Lakers. I think the Warriors might be in the driver's seat here. It ready to play until right around March. So you get him for the stretch drive. And again, I don't see the Lakers being that team. All right? I don't. It's going to be interesting to see what would transpire if this deal is made like on the first or second or the third, and give other teams time to then decide what they want to do, because the trade deadline is next Thursday at 12 o'clock our time. So we'll see. Bill Belichick, not Hall of Fame, first ballot, joke. It is a joke. It's embarrassing is what it is. You know, it really is. It's embarrassing. No other way to say it. Absolutely embarrassing. So fire away. I'll go in any direction that you want tonight. Hope that you were doing well. Hope you had a chance to listen to the radio show today on Fox Sports Sacramento. Sean Salisbury, always fun to have him. Tomorrow, we'll talk with Chris Landry, LandryFootball.com. We'll get into the draft a little bit tomorrow, the NFL, and see how he thinks the first 5 picks will go, and whether he thinks the Raiders will indeed take Fernando Mendoza. So that is going to be coming up tomorrow. Of course, the Kings and the Sixers as well. In my opinion, how many great years does Giannis have left? Well, I think he's got several great years without being one to forecast injuries. But I think he's got a lot of good years left, I would think. I can't, like you can't predict injuries. But I would think, well, let me look right here. How old is Giannis Antetokounmpo? 31. So he's 31 years old. Yeah. I mean, you're getting a 3 or 4 good years for sure. Has Russell Westbrook always played with subpar basketball IQ throughout a season? His game feels annoying. That's a very interesting question. It can be annoying at times. It can be too much at times. And so, yes. And I think that's a very fair question. There are times when it looks like he's not aware of enough going around him. Time, score, situation. It's a very good question. Very good question. Listen, he's a tremendous talent. He's had a heck of a career. I'm tired of talking about how the Kings should handle this. It didn't make any sense to me to have him on the roster in the first place. And with each passing game and each passing week, it's to me more and more of a conundrum of why he's on the roster. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. You know, I don't understand it. All right, again, keep the questions coming. I'll answer them. If you want to call the show, you can do that as well. It's so demoralizing to keep hearing about teams like the Warriors being in a position to get someone like Giannis, while the Kings always seem to be stuck in the mud. Yeah, I understand. You know, Giannis in Sacramento would not be a good fit. And I love Giannis, but I mean, you got to be practical here. You got to be realistic. You know, you got to be realistic. But I understand where you're coming from. Right? I get it. I think for Sacramento, is Sabonis going to be moved? And I wonder if a game like tonight, where the Raptors play poorly at home and get beat up by the Knicks, where they score only 41 in the second half, I just wonder if that kind of pushes them to the edge of the table as it relates to Domantas Sabonis. Going to be interesting, because it seems like that is the more likely. And again, I'm not one that goes crazy about rumors, but the sources involving these rumors are more credible. So because of that, I at least take a little bit more seriousness when I see the individuals that are reporting these things. No superstar player wants to play in Sacramento unless they were drafted by the Kings. Very true. That's true. And then if they're drafted by the Kings, they're not a superstar until they become an all-star and then hopefully a superstar. So, yes. It doesn't matter if it's Giannis or someone else. We just can't seem to make good decisions. Boy, isn't that the truth? There's too many decisions that don't make sense, that aren't the right decisions. And so, yeah, I think we're right back to that place again. I think we're right back to that. I'm thinking there have been some good moves that the Kings have made this year. You know, I think Cardwell was a good pickup. Precious Achiuwa was a good pickup. Westbrook, I don't understand. Dennis Schroeder, not crazy about. You know, basically getting rid of Valanciunas for nothing, I didn't understand. So there's good, there's bad. Max Reynaud has taken a step back lately. I don't know what's going on with him. Still waiting for Nick Clifford to get his offensive game in rhythm. You know, really haven't seen that enough. So, like, there's good and there's bad. You know, I think Scott Perry's made some very nice moves. Again, I just chronicled them. But, like, I just wonder the direction of an organization that looks at a Malik Monk and thinks he's more of the problem than the solution, or Keon Ellis. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And it makes me nervous about the future when those type of evaluations are made. And I've been very open about this. Scott Perry, he has a different vision than Monte McNair, or different vision than you, different vision than me. But I don't understand how a vision that doesn't value Malik Monk is a good vision. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. You know? There's the link if you want to call the show. Losing LaRavia hurts in hindsight as well. Yeah, but that was beyond the Kings' control. They were very limited in what they could pay him, and it was kind of a foregone conclusion that you were going to lose him. All right? Grant, the Patriots have already beat two of the three best defenses in the playoffs. In my opinion, the third one is the Seahawks. Can they pull off the trifecta? Also, they haven't lost on the road. Sure, they can. Now, I don't think they played very well against Houston, and they were the beneficiary of a pathetic game by C.J. Stroud. But, yeah, you make a very good point. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bay Area radio stations act like they already have Giannis. I haven't been listening to them, so I couldn't comment on that. I wouldn't think it's a foregone conclusion, but I do think that they are in the driver's seat. You know, I would say that. I think they probably have as good a chance as anybody. And listen, I'm not going to lie. I think it would be very fun to see Steph Curry and Giannis for the final 4 weeks of the regular season and then in the playoffs. Be very interesting. It really would. Assuming that both of those guys are healthy, that could be a lot of fun to watch. That really could. That could be a lot of fun. If I think Malik Monk is about as big of a fan favorite as the Kings fans have had in a long time. Yeah, he is. He's up there, and he should be. Should be. Absolutely. Pats will be tested next year for sure when they have to play the Bills twice, Denver and Jacksonville, and the AFC or the NFC North. Well, you can't say that. Things change. What happens if Josh Allen's hurt? What happens if Trevor Lawrence is not playing? I don't pay attention to that stuff. Schedules change. Teams that you thought were going to be good aren't good, and vice versa. Look at the Lions this year. Most people had them going to the Super Bowl. They didn't even make the playoffs. Right? I don't pay attention to that stuff. Things change in a hurry in the NFL. So you might think you have a favorable schedule, and then it turns into something a little bit different. Do I think the Kings need a new owner to be successful? I just don't see it any other way now. I do, but that's probably not going to happen. It's unrealistic because there's nothing that can be done until the owner decides he doesn't want to be the owner anymore. So I don't see that being a practical solution. Like, how's that going to happen? Right? Like, how are you going to look at that and say to yourself, well, the Kings are going to have new ownership? Well, based on what? Based on what? And does that guarantee that the new owner is going to be like perfect when they come in? I don't know. If I had to rank the fan favorites from the past that have played for the Kings, how would you rank them? I couldn't. There's not one that stands out above the other. There have been many. Do I think that Vivek has the nerve to fire Christie? I have my doubts. Vivek will run you over in his car, even if you're a family member. So, yes, he does. You know? We don't need a new owner. We just need our current one to back off like James Dolan did in New York. Look at them now. James Dolan's not backing off. I don't know why you would say that. That's not happening. Not happening at all. So, at some point you have a chance to be good, just like the Kings were 3 years ago when they won 48 games and they still had the same owner. But if you think that James Dolan has backed off, he hasn't backed off. He just went on the sports radio station in New York, WFAN, 3 weeks ago and said, I expect this team to be in the finals. So come on. If the Kings get lucky with the number one pick and bring in a young, promising talent through a trade, do I think this will make the team more attractive for free agents next season? It won't be more attractive until you get stability in the front office, coaching. No, it won't be more attractive for a couple of years. Grant, on my lunch break, I saw the Knicks game last night. We were damn lucky to win. With the 22 turnovers, I'm glad we had a better game tonight against the Raptors. Yeah, the Knicks did not play well last night. They did not look good. You're right. They were very, very sloppy with the ball. They did not look good. They just did not. Did not. I mean, flat out, did not look good. What do I think about Sabonis for RJ Barrett? It's a rumor, but I'm seeing it a lot. I'm seeing it a lot too. Quickly, Barrett. Listen, I hope Sabonis gets dealt. He deserves better. I hate the way he's been treated. I would definitely be very happy for Sabonis if he ends up in Toronto. And I'll just tell you, the Kings are going to miss him greatly. They would miss him a lot. Are the Celtics a dark horse to come out of the East? I can't rule them out. I'm surprised at how well they're playing. Now, they didn't play well tonight. They lost at home to the Hawks. But when I look at the standings in the East, Other than Detroit, who am I ready to say is, 100% better than them? I thought Orlando would be a lot better this year. That surprised me at 24-22. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, again, hit me up. Sabonis did not push out Brown. I don't know why you come up with that crap. Do I think that pro sports are becoming more about entertainment value than in previous decades? Yes, I do. What are the odds that Sacramento gets Giannis in a trade? I would say 0. Grant, I was listening to your radio show. I was doing frustrating home improvements. It helped a lot with my attitude. Thank you and Ryan. Thank you, man. I'm glad that we were able to help your attitude. I agree with you. The Hornets are better without Jordan. Do I think that Giannis has any say in the trade? No, not really. What's going on with the Lakers? They look so inconsistent. Boy, don't they? They really do. Tonight they got beat badly by Cleveland. The final there was 129-99. Yeah, they look like a mess right now, don't they? And yet I say that, and I look at the standings, and they're 28-18. They're 5th in the West, but they're only a game up in the loss column of not being in the top 6. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. They are very inconsistent. Very, very inconsistent. Very. You'll get a look at them again. The Kings will play the Lakers, I think, on March 1st, off the top of my head. But, yeah, they don't look good. They don't look good. Lakers don't play defense. Yeah, they don't. I'm looking at the score tonight, and I'm just like, they got, the Cavaliers are not some great team. Now, they were a little worried. Luka turned his ankle in the first quarter but came back. But, they're like a lot of teams. And right now, they don't have Reeves and haven't had him. And he was really, really good, and they've really missed him. Thoughts on the NBA All-Star announcements. I don't give a damn. I don't care. And I wouldn't watch that if you paid me. Just, it's ridiculous. Whose team is it in Boston? Browns or Tatum? Seems like there could be 2 big egos there. It's the Boston Celtics team. That's whose team it is. They won a championship, so they won a title 2 years ago, did they not? They were the champions of the NBA. So they were able to deal with their egos or coexist to a point where they could win a championship, correct? Right? So, I mean, it's ridiculous. All right, again, if you want to call the show, you got the link. I'm not going to go that long, maybe another 10 minutes. Love the questions. But yeah, I think I'm going to say it's 50-50 or better that Sabonis ends up in Toronto in the next, I'm going to say before the 5th. I'm going to say it's going to happen this weekend if it does happen. All right? That's what I'm thinking. I think it's going to happen. Thoughts on, let's see what else. The most bizarre Giannis moment is when they moved out a coach with a 35-5 record for Doc Rivers. Yeah, that was pretty bizarre. I never did interview Michael Jordan. No, I did not. I did not. Never interviewed him. I can't predict who's getting moved on the Lakers. Sorry. Too hard for me. I can't. It's hard for me to predict that. Always good to see you. Can you please give a birthday shout out to my guy, Steven? He's been battling high cholesterol disease, and we're happy he gets to celebrate a birthday. Steven, happy birthday, buddy. Hope you have a great day. Your day is the day before Jerry Reynolds' birthday. You were very close to sharing a birthday with Jerry. Good luck with your disease, and I hope you have many more birthdays. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We all know that Doug Christie is not that dumb, and he still understands the game, even though he is not a fit coach. So, how do you explain making all of these nonsense decisions on rotations? Doug is very stubborn. I've known Doug. That's the one thing I will say about him. He's very, very stubborn, and he's very set in his ways, and it's very difficult to change his mind. So he's stubborn. Yeah, there is going to be a watch party. We'll announce it here soon. There will be, yes. Yes, there will be. Sabonis and Keon will be gone by the trade deadline. I would consider no action by the Kings during this deadline of failure. I would too. I love Brian Grant, and I respect what he's dealing with his Parkinson's disease. Love Brian. He was a good player, and he played very good years with Portland. Very good years with Portland. He was a good player for them. He really was. Good. I will tell you this, and I'm going to repeat myself. Kings fans are going to miss Sabonis if he gets traded. You're going to miss him. You're going to miss him. You are going to miss Domantas Sabonis if he gets traded. And he will excel wherever he goes. He will excel wherever he goes. There's no doubt in my mind that Sabonis will excel if he is moved by the Sacramento Kings. And I hope it happens for him because he deserves better. All right? Sean McDermott said no to the Bucks. You think the Raiders have a chance of getting Sean McDermott? Are you talking about a head coach? What are you talking about? Or a coordinator? Oh, Dorian and his girlfriend, Gisette, set up a meeting at Carmine's tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. Patrick, I am so jealous. That is freaking great. I am so happy for you all. I am so happy. Cardwell and Reynaud are already more entertaining. Well, I don't really care whether they're more entertaining or not. They're nowhere near the caliber of player of Domantas Sabonis. So I don't give a damn if they're entertaining or not. I'm not in the entertainment business when I'm talking about sports. I'm in the wins and losses business. That's what I look at. I don't give a damn if the team's entertaining or not. I care about the standings and their record. And Domantas Sabonis is clearly head and shoulders better than both of those guys. So I don't really give a damn whether they're entertaining or not, because entertaining doesn't get you wins in the standings. Now, with that said, I like the futures of both of those players, and I'm excited about the potential of both of those players. But don't like try to make it sound like you'd rather have them than Sabonis, because that's ignorant and stupid. Seriously. If I replace an F1 Grand Prix with another, which would you choose? You're talking about a race? I'd like to see it in Bangkok. They're talking about it. I think it's going to happen. I would love to see it in Bangkok. I think it would be great. Hey, don't be too jealous. I'll be missing your show tomorrow night for once. That's okay, Patrick. I'm going to give you permission to miss the show to be at Carmine's. I have no problem with that. Overall, I think we will miss Sabonis more than we've missed Fox. Could be, you know. Can we agree to disagree? It's the American way, Grant. We can agree to disagree all the time, but you can't agree to be stupid. We can agree to disagree, but you can't tell me you agree it's okay to be stupid. It's not okay to be stupid. All right? There's nobody in the world on planet Earth that has any basketball acumen that would take Max Reynaud or Dylan Cardwell over Domantas Sabonis. I mean, you got to stop it. Please stop. I mean, you got to stop. You know, I don't want to spoil your birthday, but you got to stop. I mean, you got to stop with stupidity, okay? You got to stop. I'm not going to talk silliness and nonsense on this show. I'm just not. I'm not. And if you think that, you really don't know a lot about basketball, okay? And if you think that, you really should like rethink that. All right. Potential in a player is, I don't know what that says. Another great meal at Bennett's. Cheers, Grant. Happy for you. All right. Oh, here we go. Just landed in Philly from Sacramento, following them on the back half of this trip because I'm crazy. Any Philadelphia, Washington recommendations? A little cold out here right now. Yeah, I have a recommendation. Get on Amtrak and go to New York. That's my recommendation. Better player, Rodman or Draymond? Rodman. But no, I really don't have any recommendations in Philly. I rarely went out in Philly and Washington, so I'm not the guy to ask. I'm just not. Have a good time and have fun at the game. I'm not a fan of the arena that the Sixers play in. Very blasé. Doesn't do much for me. Doesn't do much for me. But have fun. Enjoy the game. And I'm very happy that you made it safely. And yeah, it's a little bit cold. It's okay. Stay inside and have yourself a really good time at the game. And then down in Washington. That's good. Grant, what's your thoughts about Draymond always glazing LeBron? I don't care about anything that Draymond does. I mean, I really don't. I don't waste my time even talking that much about Draymond. I'm not a Draymond fan. I've never been a Draymond fan. I accept the fact that he's had a big part of them winning championships, and I respect that aspect of it, but I think the guy's a buffoon. I don't understand why network TVs want him to come on. The guy's a joke. You know, he's a joke. I don't know what else to. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to answer it. I don't get it. I really don't. All right, tomorrow, 3:00, Fox Sports Sacramento, and Chris Landry, LandryFootball.com, Kings and Sixers. And that game we'll monitor while we're on the air. Looking forward to it. Now we'll have the post-game show right here on YouTube and X. Living in Spokane for a little while. I've always liked Sabonis. And when the Kings traded for him, I thought they were lucky to get him. Agree. But, I mean, he's a 3-time All-Star. He got absolutely screwed the last 2 years. I mean, there's no question he got screwed from being on the All-Star team the last 2 years. Thoughts on Russell passing Hakeem? I don't give a damn. You know, I don't give a damn about all of these records. They're just superficial. They're ridiculous. I don't care. You know what I care about? Win some freaking games. Don't care. That stuff doesn't mean anything to me. How optimistic am I about the Kings making good moves by next week? Or do you think this might be a worse before we get better? Oh, it's definitely going to be a worse before we get better. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's going to be worse. Okay? It's going to get worse before it gets better. Prepare yourself for that. Okay? That is going to happen. Prepare yourself for that. It is unfortunate Max didn't make the All-Star rookie game. But I don't know if I would say he didn't deserve it. I would think that's up for debate. I'm not so sure I would say that. But he has not played well the last couple of weeks. We can agree on that. All right, I'm wrapping it up. Wanted to do 30 minutes, get in and out. Talk to you tomorrow at 3:00, everybody. Busy day, 3 to 6, and then the Kings postgame show as they are in Philly to take on the Sixers. Have fun, Dorian, in New York. Have fun for the individual that just got to Philly. Stay safe. Appreciate you. And boy, do I wish I could be at Carmine's tomorrow with Patrick, Dorian, and Gisette. Oh, I'm jealous. Oh, love it. Have fun, everyone. Stay safe. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.